All right, let's talk about the future. By 2030, the entire business landscape is going to look completely different, all thanks to data and AI. But, getting there, it's a really complex journey. So today, we're going to chart a path. We'll break down exactly how your organization can navigate these huge shifts to become a truly data and AI-driven enterprise. Let's get into it. This isn't just a great movie title anymore. It's the new reality for data. We are hurtling towards what experts are calling data ubiquity. And what that means is a world where data isn't just sitting in a report on your screen. No, it's literally woven into every single system, every process, every customer interaction, all of it driving automated actions with this intelligent layer of oversight. It's a little chaotic for sure, but it is incredibly powerful, and it's happening right now. So, what does this future actually look like when we get there? Well, imagine this. Personalized medicines that are developed by AI, perfect digital twins of your customers, and intelligent agents that run your entire supply chain. And this isn't some sci-fi plot. This is the real, high-value future that companies are racing to build as we speak. Okay, so if the vision is so clear and, frankly, so exciting, why aren't we there yet? What's the holdup? Well, it turns out most companies are stumbling over two major hurdles on their way to 2030, something called the no alpha problem and the dreaded pilot purgatory. Let's break down what these really mean. First, let's just set the stage a bit. The rush to adopt generative AI is, well, it's staggering. According to McKinsey, regular use in at least one business function has almost doubled in just 1 year. It's jumped from 33% all the way up to 65%. Everybody is grabbing these new tools, which, as you'll see, leads us right to our first big problem. So here's the crucial point. When everyone is using the same off-the-shelf AI tools, nobody gets a real competitive edge, or what investors call alpha. It's kind of like everyone is building a house with the exact same generic Lego bricks. The real value, the true alpha, that comes from building a unique house. And you do that by customizing these tools with your own proprietary data and hooking them together in a way that nobody else can. And that second roadblock? Pilot purgatory. Does that sound familiar? I bet it does. It's that place where all this incredible enthusiasm leads to dozens of small, disconnected AI projects. You've got a cool chatbot over here, a neat little analytics tool over there, but none of them have a clear path to scale. They never get properly integrated into the core business, and at the end of the day, they just fail to create any real enterprise-wide value. So how do we escape this cycle? How do we actually get things done? Well, the first path forward is all about getting way smarter with your strategy. It's about moving beyond just playing with AI tools and really focusing on specific actions that create genuine, defensible value that your competitors just can't copy. The path to creating that real alpha actually becomes incredibly clear when you look at it this way. It boils down to three critical things. First, you have to customize the models with your company's unique proprietary data. That's non-negotiable. Second, you need to create truly unique capabilities by integrating different data and AI systems together. And third, and this one is huge, you have to focus. Identify the 5 to 15 data products that are going to deliver the lion's share of the value and just double down on those. Okay, let's move to our second path. A smarter strategy is absolutely essential, but it's not going to work without the right technical foundation. And this means building brand new capabilities to tame what has become a massive, and I mean massive, deluge of a whole new kind of data. I mean, just look at the scale of the challenge we're facing. For decades, business has been focused on structured data, the neat rows and columns in our databases. Well, it turns out that's only 10% of the world's available data. Gen AI has suddenly unlocked the other 90%. All the messy, unstructured stuff like videos, emails, customer chats, social media posts. The entire landscape has literally flipped on its head. To put this into perspective, think about it like this. Managing all that traditional structured data, that was like managing a few predictable water pipelines. But managing this new 90%, it's like you've suddenly been tasked with managing an entire ocean. The scale and the complexity are just geometrically larger, and the old ways of doing things, they just can't handle. The smart solution here is to start thinking in terms of capability pathways. So instead of building a new one-off architecture for every single project, which is how you end up in pilot purgatory, you build these clustered, reusable toolkits. For example, you could build one really powerful customer analysis pathway and then deploy it across sales and marketing and service. This approach is designed for scale right from day one. So, we've covered strategy and technology, But the third, and honestly, the most critical path forward is all about people. Because without the right leadership, the right talent, and a deep focus on trust, even the most brilliant technology is going to fail.
The reality is, you can't just rely on a single data guru to lead this transformation. I mean, finding one person who has mastered governance and engineering and business value, that's a unicorn. It's incredibly rare. That's why the companies that are succeeding are building a leadership village. They're creating a team with shared accountability across all three of these critical areas. It takes a team.
And of course, the talent landscape itself is going through a massive shift. Your existing roles are evolving. Data engineers now need to be experts in things like vector databases, and then you have these entirely new roles popping up that we weren't even talking about a few years ago, like prompt engineers, AI ethics stewards, and specialists who actually know how to deal with that messy 90% of unstructured data. And finally, this brings us to trust. The risks are evolving just as fast as the tech. We're not just talking about data privacy anymore. We're talking about really scary new threats, like self-evolving malware that learns its way around your defenses, or intelligent bots that can perfectly mimic humans. Building digital trust isn't just a compliance checkbox anymore. It is a serious competitive advantage. So, as we look toward 2030, the path forward is definitely challenging, but it's also clear. It requires this fusion of smarter strategy, scalable technology, and a brand new focus on human leadership and talent. The question every leader really needs to be asking themselves right now is this: by 2030, will your organization be the one leading the charge with data, or will it be one of the ones left behind?